Hey, welcome. So you've decided to take on A-level maths, but maybe you're feeling a little lost in this, maze of paper codes and what's actually on the syllabus. Well, you are in exactly the right place. We are about to demystify this whole subject for you.
It's a pretty big question, right? And the answer, it isn't just about crunching numbers. It's really about understanding the structure, the content, and honestly, the specific kind of workload you're signing up for. And that's what we're going to do, break it all down piece by piece.
So, the goal for this explainer is super simple. First, we're going to build the blueprint. That's all about understanding the structure of the course. And then, we're going to hand you the playbook. These are the actual strategies you're going to need to succeed. Okay, let's dive right in. First up is the blueprint. Over the next 2 years, what papers are you actually going to be sitting for? Let's find out. Think of it like a 4-paper journey. 2 of those are completely non-negotiable. That's paper 1 and paper 3, both in pure mathematics. These are your foundation. Then you get to choose 2 more optional papers to round out your A-level. Now for those 2 optional papers, you basically have a couple of paths. You can either pair Mechanics 1 with Statistics 1, or you can go all in on Stats with S1 and S2. But here's the thing you should know, that M1 and S1 combo is by far the most common choice students make. So how does this all add up to your final grade? Well, take a look at this. Your 2 compulsory pure math papers, P1 and P3, make up a huge chunk, 30% each. That's a combined 60% of your entire grade. Your 2 optional papers then fill out the rest, with each one being worth 20%. And here it is, all laid out in one place. You can think of this table as your cheat sheet for the entire A-level math structure. You've got your compulsory papers, P1 and P3, right at the top, and your optional choices just below. This, right here, is the blueprint you'll be working with. All right, so that's the structure. But what about the actual content? Now that we've got the blueprint down, let's take a look at what you'll actually be studying in each of these papers.
Okay, pure mathematics. This is the absolute core of your A-level. It covers all those abstract foundational concepts. We're talking about advanced algebra, geometry, and for many of you, some brand new topics like complex numbers, vectors, and the big one, calculus. This is where you'll really get into differentiation and integration.
Then you've got mechanics, or M1. This is where math gets physical, literally. It's all about applying mathematical principles to the world of physics. You'll be studying things like forces, motion, and how different objects interact with each other. Now, if you're not coming from a heavy science background, that word physics might make you a little nervous. But check this out. The key takeaway here seems to be that M1 is designed to be accessible. And students from all kinds of backgrounds can do, and in fact do, really well in it. So that's pretty encouraging to hear. And finally, we have statistics. This is basically the science of data. S1 builds on concepts you might already be familiar with, like probability and averages, but it takes them way, way further. And if you decide to stick with it for S2, you'll dive even deeper into more advanced topics like statistical distributions. All right, so we've covered the structure, we've covered the content. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. How hard is it really? What should you actually expect when you walk into that exam hall? So the exams themselves are actually structured pretty differently. Your pure maths papers are much longer. We're talking nearly 2 hours, with almost double the number of questions. That means a way higher workload. On the other hand, the applied papers, like mechanics and statistics, are shorter, with fewer questions that are much more focused on applying those core concepts. So, here is the most crucial point. While all the papers are definitely challenging, there is one that consistently stands out as the toughest part of the entire course, and that is your second pure maths paper, P3. So why is paper 3 so notorious? Well, the difficulty level just takes a big step up. A lot of students find it's a totally binary experience. You either see the path to the solution right away or you are completely blank. There's not much middle ground, which means one thing is absolutely non-negotiable. You have to put in an immense amount of practice to master it. Which brings us to our final and I think most important section. We've laid out the entire blueprint. Now let's get into the playbook, the specific actionable strategy you're going to need to aim for those top grades. I mean, it's the question everyone wants to know, right? Is there some kind of secret and magic bullet for getting an A or an A star in A-level maths? Well, it's not really a secret, but it is a system, and it all boils down to 2 key numbers. The first number is 20.
This is the benchmark for students who perform at the highest level, completing 20 maths questions a day, not just when you feel like it, and not just before a test, but every single day for 2 years. It's all about building a relentless, non-negotiable consistency.
The second number is 3. This is what's known as the rule of 3. And the playbook is crystal clear on this. You must complete every single topical worksheet for every single topic at least 3 times over the course of your A-levels. No exceptions.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Doing the same questions over and over sounds kind of counterintuitive, doesn't it? Especially if you got it right the first time. But this is the genius behind it. Repeating those questions builds critical muscle memory for all the basic algebraic steps. What this does is, in the exam, your brain is freed up. It doesn't have to waste energy on the basics. It can focus all its power on tackling the difficult, problem-solving part of the question, and all while staying accurate under pressure.
So there you have it. You have the blueprint for the course structure, and you have the playbook for how to conquer it. You know what it's going to take: the papers, the content, and the commitment. The only question left is, are you ready to commit?